pop crowds. They pop corn. They pop culture. It's the Lowdown.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the latest installment of the Lowdown Popcast. I am the voice of PCW, Elliot Popston, and also newly named voice of Demon Football. Welcome to the Lowdown Popcast. To my right here at the Cool Kids table, is the founder of the hottest wrestling promotion in the Mid-Atlantic. He's the owner and agent of Flyer Float Travel, where you can book your dream getaway at flyerfloattravel.com. He's the host of the Shane event, can sell ice to an Eskimo, New York's greatest export, Shane Dorr. And to my left, my bad, go ahead, Shane.
Oh man, I have nothing important to say. All I'm saying is I'm just glad to be back. It's been a long time, a whole week.
Yeah, it felt like a good minute, but we're back. And to my left is six-time fantasy football champion, podcast enthusiast, soon to be Kevin Nash's favorite podcaster. Just like his favorite wrestler, he's been known to outwork everyone, although some may argue he just works everyone. With his self-proclaimed hottest Funko Pop collection, not your average wrestling mark, Handbook Jonathan Winburn.
Glad to be back.
What's up, man?
Took a week off. Yeah. Feeling good.
Yeah.
Not all of us could go to Disney World.
I didn't go to Disney World, so bam. Next.
Universal.
Ooh. I don't do Disney. Ugh. I lie. I would do Disney. Yeah, but I definitely wasn't at Disney this past week.
Whatever. Same
It was fun. I mean, kids enjoyed it.
Has it changed at all?
Universal?
Yeah.
Some. Not much. They've I'm ready for the new part that they're adding. They're gonna be adding another part. The Mummy opened back up, so
that's nice. Last time I went like 2 years ago maybe, and they were just about to close it and they weren't sure if they were gonna reopen it. It was kind of, they thought that was gonna be the end of it. So
nah, man, the Mummy's one of their hottest rides.
The one with the fire in the ceiling, I remember. I miss Twister. You know, I used to love watching the Twister scene.
Speaking of Twister,
that's what I was about to say.
They're going to be making a new Twisters movie.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah, it's called Twisters.
Twisters.
And
are they bringing back cast?
They're sister tornadoes. Twisters.
Well, this rumor that Helen Hunt's coming back. I mean, obviously,
what's his name's dead.
Yeah, and it's going to be about her and their daughter chasing storms. I think that's a way to kind of keep his memories.
Haven't I heard this?
I just saw it yesterday. So
I did too.
What a coincidence! That's just weird. Funny.
Yeah, my storm tracker meteorologist friend Lee Helmer, guys, you can follow him on Facebook. He's like, I literally get all my local
plug.
I literally get all my local weather from him. It's pretty interesting how he's
dude. And we always said so. Twister's like one of those films like Titanic. That if it was made today, you know, what could they do with it? You know, as far as like from a technology standpoint, a production standpoint. So that's kind of exciting.
The article I read said it was the director that did Maverick was supposed to originally direct it, but he was doing another project, so they're trying to find another one now. But I think the success of Top Gun was kind of what led them to move forward with it, because that article mentioned that, you know, just how age-wise, like the movie, I mean, it's still relevant today, but like what they could do with it today, from a production standpoint, it still comes on TV all the time, so it still has, you know, like it's still hitting new viewers.
Just say, I just watched Maverick again for in its entirety, and that movie never gets old to me.
I'm ready for it to come out like legit streaming, so I can watch it. But they hadn't even announced a date yet, like for it to come out. It's supposed to come out on DVD.
It's still
like
in theaters.
It's not supposed to hit. Like you can buy it to stream for like $20, but it's not supposed to come out until on physical, which I'll buy it then till October 31st. So
did y'all ever watch Night of the Twisters?
Yeah, it was a made-for-TV movie, and it was absolutely phenomenal.
I don't think I saw that.
They had it was like 11 tornadoes in like one day. Like, and it had remember the little old lady.
Yeah,
And she lived out in the barn by herself or the house by
Was there a
herself.
Sharknado involved?
no.
Guys, I have never seen any Sharknado. Is that bad?
I haven't either.
I haven't
but
either.
I heard that they were fantastic.
phenomenal. Much like a Rob Zombie horror film.
Oh, depends on which we can talk about again.
Hey, that's for you, Saint. You didn't get involved in that post.
Well, I told you when you tagged me and then I pulled it up and it did not make sense, but it was for some reason Facebook had all my posts in like reverse order. So
Yeah,
I was reading them
same
backwards
thing.
and I was like, this conversation is not making any sense to me. I just didn't look at the timestamps or I would have noticed. It just wasn't.
Have you seen any Rob Zombie films?
Yeah.
Okay, which ones have you seen?
He did 1,000 Corpses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
Those were both good.
That's
I like both of those.
Oh, fantastic. Those are two of my favorites. And Lords of Salem was my third favorite.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
All I told him was I've never seen a Rob Zombie film that I thought was good. And he goes on this huge tangent.
Yes, I get offended really easily when you talk about films.
I haven't seen.
But that's not fair, Elliot, because you point blank say you don't like horror films.
No.
And then you come out and say, well, I've never seen a Rob Zombie film that isn't good. Well, from the person that doesn't like horror films, that doesn't make any sort of sense to me. Please make it make sense.
No, I don't like the paranormal stuff.
Well, it's not paranormal. It's straight up
Like
twisted, like sickos. It's not like,
well,
it's gross.
Anything that's psychological and stuff like that, I kind of, try and shy away from.
His movies are more brutal and
Gory.
very gory, like disgusting.
Like I had to kind of quit with the Saw movies because it got too gory for me.
Oh, see, I like the Saw movies.
I like how they tied them all together.
I watched I believe the first 2 or 3, and I was cool with them. But then like number 4, I was like,
Yeah, Saw 2 is one of my favorite ones, and even that's the needles, man. By the way,
I got tattoos, so
That's
but
different.
that
When you
did
get
not-
thrown into a pit of needles, it does not look
remember
fun.
the part where Amanda had to stick her hands up in the glass and that kind of.
I mean that. So I watched all the Saws, and I mean they did. Each one got less and less interesting, but
Sure.
like I still remember. I mean it. And I was younger at the time. A lot younger. So maybe it was just the kid in me, but I remember watching the first one and having no thought that the guy in the center was going to be Jigsaw, and when they revealed it, I was like, it was like completely blew my mind. Like I was like, oh my god, I was like,
And let's
by
not
far
forget,
one of the best twists I've
the
ever
budget
seen.
they made that movie on is insanely low.
well, and the way they made them, it's my understanding, it ends up second or third one. It's no longer Jigsaw; it's someone who's pretending to be Jigsaw, or like a.
It's
Jigsaw the whole time.
He's actively involved. I mean, from beginning to end, he plays a part.
For some reason, I thought in one of them,
Go ahead.
I was just saying, for some reason, I thought in one of them, like Jigsaw's no longer Jigsaw's dead, or he's no longer there, or something, and it's almost like one of his quote unquote followers became Jigsaw.
I would encourage you, like if you've never seen the Saw movies, like the first one. Everybody knows the first one.
Want to play a game?
Yeah, everybody knows the first one. He's the one on the floor with the gun in his hand the whole time. He reveals to be Jigsaw, but watch them all, and just see how they tie it all together is incredible. I thought.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite storytelling films.
But let's.
Okay. All right, but what makes me excited?
Well,
about Saw
this will get blanked out. Copyright infringement.
they are Lionsgate and Twisted Pictures already announced that they're returning to Saw, a new film entitled to hit theaters October 27th, 2023, which is exciting because I think Tobin Bell will be involved.
I have not seen Spiral though, which was.
That was
Chris Rock. It was Chris Rock. It was kind of a spinoff, but I have not watched it yet.
Was it? You sure it wasn't a spiral off instead of a spinoff? Speaking of spinoffs and Halloween ends. That's what the Facebook post.
I watched
started
it.
with.
I watched it again last night. Have you seen it yet, Jonathan?
I have not.
Okay.
I haven't had any time.
I give it a 5 out of 10 originally. I watched it again last night. I woke up. I went
3.
I went to bed early. I went to bed really early last night because
Must
I
be nice.
had to get up. I had to get up super early, so I was like, all right, I'm going to bed early. I went to bed at like 9:30, and I woke up at
9
like
o'clock.
something like that. Was it that early?
I don't know.
How would you know anyway?
Because I messaged and you didn't respond.
I always respond
Okay, whatever.
within 24 hours.
but
That's
I-
a caveat.
I woke
I
up.
think if you look at my phone, like the last 6 phone calls I've called him, he's not answered at all.
Okay. But anyway, I called him back today and it went straight to voicemail. So I woke up at
Busy.
I woke up at 2:00 this morning and I sat in the bed from 2 to 4 and I watched Halloween Ends again. I don't want to be over I think we're being a little over the top with it. I don't think it was as bad as a film as I thought, but definitely not the best Halloween film. I just think the way I don't want to ruin it for Jonathan because it's definitely something he needs to watch as a Halloween fan, but it definitely wasn't the best.
Well,
But I'd probably give it between a 5 and a 6. I think it's what I expected it to be. The one
Well,
character.
we know 6 is your baseline, so it cannot be that good if it's in between 5 and 6.
No, well, 6 is my IMDb baseline, folks. So
Rotten Tomatoes.
So no, InternetMovieDatabase.com. If it's a 6.0 out of 10 or greater, Shane's gonna enjoy it. That's just kind of my rule of thumb, and it holds to be true. But I thought it was okay. I thought it was tolerable. It's definitely not something I want to pay to see in theaters. So thank God for the simultaneous Peacock release. I would feel like I have been robbed of my money if I had paid money to see that.
Robbed zombied.
Okay. He's full of zingers tonight. But we're back. We're back, folks. But
Hey, this is over a week's worth of zingers.
he's been holding them
bit
in.
up.
But I thought it was an entertaining movie. I thought the preface was okay. There's a certain character.
I thought the issue was execution on the story.
Yeah, the character was rushed. It was a rushed thing, just very, very quickly done to maybe meet a deadline.
It was less than 2 hours.
Yeah, and like all this stuff's happening, and this one character is
I thought the movie was full of executions.
okay. All right, folks.
Not as many as you think, honestly.
No, it wasn't terrible.
The majority of the executions happened in a 5-minute span.
I think it's worth watching for a Halloween fan, or for a horror movie fan. I think it's worth watching, but I don't go in there with high hopes or high expectations. That's all, because you'll be disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, again, someone who doesn't watch.
I'm surprised you watched it though, Elliot.
Well, I watched the last Halloween.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, it wasn't bad.
The last 2 of them,
I've actually seen all of them.
even Season of the Witch, Halloween 3, the worst movie ever made. That was awful.
It's not that I remember it, but I've seen it.
Yeah, see, there you go. It's the only one that doesn't involve Michael Myers. It's absolute trash. Anyway, I'm sorry.
But no, the ones I remember the first one ever made. I think I remember 2. I remember H2O. I remember the zombie Rob Zombie. Didn't Rob Zombie create a Halloween? Or was that Jason? Or both?
No, you did Halloween.
He did Friday the 13th and Halloween, didn't he?
No.
There was a remake of Friday the 13th, though.
Yes,
was,
with Jared
but I think
Padalecki.
I think Zombie only did Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've seen the Halloween Zombie as well.
The second one.
And I've seen the 2 most recent ones. I said H2O already.
Yeah, there's a ton of Halloweens in between there. There's Halloween 1, 2, Season of the Witch,
Pretty much
4, The Curse of Michael Myers, 5. I mean, there's a ton of them.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
10 by now, I think.
Yeah, at least.
H2O or H20, H20 and the zombie and everything else after that, I'm pretty sure I saw. If it went to theaters, I would see it.
For me,
I saw it.
My ideal Halloween franchise, it goes Halloween 1978, Halloween 2018, then what's that? Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. In that order. Those 4 films make up the whole Halloween series. Forget everything in the middle.
I was
a waste.
I was a fan of the Friday the 13th, the newer one. When the guy
Very brutal.
The guy you said?
Yeah, Jared
Padalecki.
Padalecki, he was in that film. I can't remember who played Jason.
I just remember the dude was a monster.
Yeah, it was incredibly well done.
I mean,
I'm always a big
size. He was big.
I'm a big Kane Hodder fan though. Kane Hodder's my Jason, but I think that was incredibly well done. You ever seen Freddy versus Jason?
Yeah.
I watch that every chance I get. I think that's one of the most
That one's
incredible films. I think it's
so.
hilarious.
I've seen Freddy versus Jason. I've seen Jason Goes to Hell. I saw that one. Honestly, that was the first Jason movie I ever saw.
Did you ever see Jason X?
In space.
Oh my god!
Reminded me of Lord Zed.
Oh,
Power Rangers.
That's what he looked like. Yeah, a little bit.
it was horrible.
I know they remade Friday the 13th. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street, but I definitely think it's
Jackie
like
Earle
we need
Haley.
to get a new like Freddy movie. I think Freddy was the one now that would seem the most relevant. Like,
And here's the thing: Robert Englund's still alive and very much able to play the part. Just as Lion King did with James Earl Jones. Bring back Robert Englund.
I was a little upset at with the new Lion King remake. As good,
Beyonce was in it. Horrible.
as good as it was, there were just some moments where you could tell in James Earl Jones' voice that he's aged a lot.
Oh, dude, he's pushing 90.
Well, I mean, you can say what you want, but
Well,
no, it was just like, just some small vocal inflections that I was like, man.
back in the 90s, it was more powerful. Like
Sure.
he was missing that. He was missing that emphasis that he had in the 90s. But
They could have gotten Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman. Bruce Almighty.
I like Morgan Freeman.
The new Jungle Book I loved.
Mowgli?
No, Jungle Book.
Oh, the actual yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Jungle Book and Mowgli. I thought they were both really good. I saw them. I think it was on Netflix. Mowgli,
yeah, I think Jungle Book came out at the same time. They had right around the same time the Samsung VR came out, and they had a
sick.
demo. It was like a scene from the movie, but you were like in Mowgli's
Oh,
point of view, and you could turn around, and
Oh,
it
that's
was
cool.
like, it was really intense. I mean, there was one point you turn around and the
giant orangutan.
King
Louis.
Yeah, like reaches down, and like the first time I did it, I looked right as he was reaching down, and it was like I really felt like I was like right there.
I love point of
Isn't
view.
that
I love point
King
of view.
Louis? That's what's his name? Oh wow.
I was waiting for that. Ooh.
Who's
That's a we could build up.
Note to self: don't let Shane bar VR.
yeah, it's an Oculus.
Yeah, it's over there. Ask me when the
Don't
last time I
touch his
played it.
Oculus.
Oh, where are these? Never mind.
No.
Dad,
why are they sticky?
Who's the guy? Christopher Walken? He's the voice of King Louis.
I love Christopher Walken.
Shout out to Beasley, who does an amazing Christopher Walken impression.
Who?
Beasley.
Oh my Lord. Yes. Anthony Dominguez. God bless you, man, wherever you're at.
So you said Beastly. So that was actually I did watch Beast a couple of days ago.
Oh yeah.
with,
How was it?
Idris
Idris Elba.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Is that like a zombie lion?
No, it was. So I watched the trailer. I like Idris a lot. I mean, like I think he's a fantastic actor. So that's what made me want to watch it. I watched the trailer, and it was kind of one of those things where I was like, just based on the trailer, like how are they going to keep this interesting for an hour and a half? If it's just like him versus a lion. It was actually pretty well done. I mean, the first part of the movie, it's kind of so he takes his daughters there. They have a old family friend that's living there, so he takes his daughters and they kind of go out and some things happen. But it's more or less there's I don't think I'm giving anything away because it happens early on in the movie. So there's some like poachers that are trying to they kind of capture everybody in the lion's family. So it's almost like he has learned, like he's they're just super smart, and so he is aware of all the traps. But then he's out for
Revenge.
for revenge or whatever. But it kept my interest for the whole movie. I thought it was well done. I mean, as well done as could be. I mean, it's pretty good.
I watched
Entertaining.
I watched Prey a couple weeks back.
I have not watched that yet.
That's so.
It's a Predator prequel,
yes, Predator prequel. I was a fan. Some people didn't like it. I I love Predator anyway.
I remember specifically looking up Prey on Internet Movie Database, and 3 weeks ago, it was like 7.2 out of 10. So on Shane's scale, it's a must see. Ding ding! It was phenomenal, incredibly well done. Yeah, but guys, you know what week it is? It's Black Adam week.
It is Black Adam week.
The most anticipated superhero movie, I think I've seen probably since the Avenger, Endgame and Infinity War, but it's definitely one of the most talked about, hyped up, and to Jonathan's point, we've talked about it off air. It's dangerous to hype something up like this, but
it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
It is Dwayne Johnson. It is Warner Brothers. It is
that the Warner Brothers part's what scares me.
Yeah, I agree. But the thing is, here's what I truly believe. I don't think Dwayne Johnson, regardless if it's his own film or not, is going to hype something up the way he is if he doesn't know for a fact it's going to deliver or make people happy. And the way he's traveling the world, pushing this film, showing up in Black Adam gimmick places. There's no way this movie's gonna fail. He knows he's got a gold mine.
I mean, you got to think he's created an entire product line with his Under Armour Project Rock based on Black Adam.
And also,
whose shoes I'm rocking tonight, by the way.
Those are fire. I'm not gonna lie. Those rock.
That's no bull.
Oh my god. But no Brahma bull. But I think and also, we read that interesting article I sent, that he actually signed up for the role 15 years ago or actually agreed. We don't know to what extent, but he actually agreed to portray Black Adam in some form 15 years ago, which is absolutely crazy.
That was Rock with hair. I mean, pre-Walking Tall Rock.
Yeah.
Or
right around that same time. Actually, I think Walking Tall was 2004, if I remember correctly. But
Rundown
was 04.
Yeah, Rundown came before Walking Tall.
Yeah, Rundown might have been 03. It's because Scorpion King was 01. So it's just, man, it's crazy.
Rundown is still probably one of my favorite rock movies.
Oh, look at the little birdie up there. I love Sean William Scott.
Thunder, lightning.
Sean William Scott. I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I think it's gonna be an amazing film. I think I'm gonna end up trying to see it this week. Handbook Friday or Saturday. Just because I can't wait to see spoilers because I think people are gonna spoil it and it's gonna make me really mad that I didn't see it.
I have Regal Pass, so we can see it as much as we want.
Yep, and the thing is though, we can't even spoil it to Elliot, because he's definitely going to see it. But I'm excited. I think it's
that's what I meant. I mean, we can go and then whatever day Elliot's free, I'll go back.
I think it's gonna be facts. I think it's gonna be a roller coaster ride. I think I'm excited. Like I don't even know what to expect because I'm not familiar with the Black Adam character. But I read what The Rock was saying about it. How he was a slave and person of color, so it meant a lot to him to portray the role. And when somebody does something because it means so much to them for so many different reasons, I think they really put their full effort into it or put everything they have behind it. So I think that's what's going to make it most special.
I agree. I said, I've been pretty skeptical just because I feel like it's hyped so much that it's just not going to live up. But I mean, as I was telling you, the reviewers and the people that I follow that I trust the most to, I guess, kind of match my taste in movies seem to, like, their early reviews on it have been extremely positive. So yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit more faith that it's going to turn out to be good.
Does it? I have my opinion. Does it become the year's highest grossing film?
Absolutely not.
Okay. It ain't touching Top Gun.
No, Top Gun. Maybe second, but Top Gun's
still
like,
in theaters.
Well,
can we?
Top Gun was like
Top Gun pulled in, people who.
This is true. From 30 years ago.
Right. Well, this right here, I mean, the thing you run into with any type of superhero movie, whether it's Marvel, DC, or something else, is it's a niche. Everyone doesn't like superhero action movies, and unfortunately, I know people who haven't seen any of the Marvel movies, haven't seen the Avengers, haven't seen any of the Spider-Man,
just because they're not comic fans.
Yeah,
usually, and that's a shame because
the other thing too is just the timing of the release. It's not coming out in the summer, which is normally when most films that make the most money are either going to be summer blockbusters or they come out like Christmas week or New Year's week when kids are out of school, when people have free time. But coming out in the middle of October, I think. Yeah.
One thing I noticed though, which I'm not a fan of, because I enjoyed being able to go to a late Thursday night movie, but around here they're not having any showings after 8 or 9 o'clock during the week.
Yeah. Anymore.
Everything's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I understand it. It's probably for operational purposes. Staying open an extra 2-3 hours or longer a night. When you're barely getting anyone in the theater, I understand. But it's Black Adam week, that's for sure.
This week belongs to Black Adam.
It also changed too, because I feel like back like pre-COVID, it was when a movie would come out on like Friday, so to speak, but they would always show Thursday showings. It was always Thursday night. Like they would only have 2 showings. It was like a 7 o'clock showing and a 10 o'clock. Now it's launching on Friday, but then if you look at the timing, like they have 4 or 5 shows on Thursday, and they're starting. It's like it's
3 o'clock.
But they don't announce them.
But they're just.
It's like you have to know. You have to be a Regal person to know what Regal does. So guys, also while we're on the topic of movies, I saw the drop today of Creed 3 trailer.
Yep,
I haven't seen the trailer. I saw the
drop today.
I have to check it out.
Yeah, let's just say. My God, you talk about one of the most talented actors in Hollywood.
Michael B. Jordan
is phenomenal. But the way they took a whole Rocky series and made a successful now trilogy spinoff
with Apollo's son
that incorporates Rocky and keeps him relevant and brings back like the nostalgia too. Man,
now this new antagonist or whatever in Creed 3, this is just someone from his past, or is it Clubber Lang's son?
That's what I was thinking. That was my understanding, but I'd have to watch it again because it just dropped literally 11 hours ago. So,
well, you can tell who's been busy at work.
Who's been to what?
Busy at work.
Well, guys, I didn't say I watched it drop at 11. I'm just saying it dropped 11 hours ago.
So I saw somebody shared it in
but here's how it reads.
Where were you at 11 hours ago?
State Fair.
Yeah. You just got home?
Yeah. I was at the State Fair at 9 o'clock this morning, 8:45. So it says new trailer shows Adonis being challenged by somebody, a childhood friend who's been released from prison. He said they were like brothers. I was the best though, says his antagonist friend.
So it's not Clubber Lang's son.
No. But it's set for March. It's gonna be 3/3/23.
Hey, that's my
it's a release date.
That's mine and Lindsay's anniversary.
What a gift. Go see Creed 3.
Hey babe, you want to see Michael B. Jordan? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's my well, at least he ain't trailer trash sexy.
Oh, well, that's Dolph Ziggler, so all day long. That's all she's. Oh, he's trailer trash sexy. Anyways,
I don't even know what that means.
Speaking of movies coming out, though, the new Mario movie.
Okay,
we didn't get to talk about that.
Yeah. So I thought it looked beautiful, right? Visually stunning. We saw it. Me and Jonathan kind of saw it together.
Yeah, visually, I mean, it looked just like the game.
Here's the problem. You open yourselves up. You remember how when Sonic released, right? Or Sonic was about to release. You remember the response it got from the fan base in it, because based on what Sonic looked like, they had to go. I don't know if you know, but they had to go back in
and redo it. Yeah,
it cost them hundreds of millions of dollars to do. to appease the niche, right? To appease that fan base. Who's doing Mario?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
I'm not.
Chris Evans.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sold on it because the main person who plays Mario, voices Mario throughout all of our childhood is very much still alive. And there's like this big thing that should have been him to portray Mario. So I'm like, I don't know. I thought Mario looked pretty good. There were some little visual differences, but nothing I would really demand to change.
Did Mario talk in the old games?
No.
Or did he just say like Mamma Mia?
We didn't hear him talk.
Me,
Yeah,
Mario.
We didn't hear him talk until the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
Was it that long? So,
But I
all
will.
you
But
heard-
if the response isn't that great, I mean, I know it hasn't been that great so far. But if they decide, it would cost a lot less for them just to get another voice to do Mario. Like
Charles Martinet.
Sonic, they had to like go in and like. I mean, it was CGI and stuff like that. I mean, that took a lot of people to work on. But the voice thing, they just get another voice actor to come in. And
Let's go.
So Charles Martinet is the one who played is when they want Mario. First voiced Mario and Luigi in 1992 in Super Mario video game. So 1992 is when Mario first.
Which one? Must have been like 3.
So much he's played them in.
Mario Kart. It's probably
So
Mario.
But it's funny you brought up Sonic because did either one of you guys watch the Chippendales like movie on Disney Plus?
I have not, but
I used to watch cartoon.
But I haven't watched
would.
it because I don't know if I'm going to be a fan of the 3D and 2D thing.
So I would say watch it. I thought it was really well done because it's not so it was really neat how they did it. So they basically made it like so when Rescue Rangers ended, that's almost when the movie picks up, and it's almost like they were playing Rescue Rangers like Chipmunks playing the actors in Rescue Rangers, and then it's about them like splitting up. The show gets canceled, and so like one person goes and does his own thing, and then they're older now, but like it shows. It's just funny because there's a scene in the movie where one of them's doing like a Comic-Con, and he's like, "Oh, I'm Dale from Chippendale Rescue Rangers,"
Yeah, sure.
and they actually have like.
Oh, okay.
Ugly Sonic is what they're calling it, like in there, and he's like, like selling all his memorabilia and stuff like that. And they were saying it was a Sonic that didn't get chosen, like got like replaced in the movie. It was just kind of neat. But they explain why half of it's CGI and why half is cartoons in the movie. So it was, I thought it was neat. It had some good moments.
I knew they explained it. I just don't know that I'll be a fan of it. So that's why I haven't watched it yet. I think Lindsay and the kids watched it, and they said it was pretty good, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
But as far as Mario, though, I mean, I'm okay with Chris Pratt, mainly just because he's a good actor. I like Chris Pratt as an actor, so I don't care if he is Mario or not.
I'm not gonna not see it, but
Let's go.
I mean, Chris Pratt's name definitely looks better on the poster in the trailer than some guy that most people haven't heard of, unless you're just like a really, really, really deep fan of the games. Like I didn't know who voiced Mario. I'm sure you didn't know who voiced Mario until like outraged about Chris Pratt playing.
I definitely knew who Charles Martinet is.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, he not only did Mario here. This is Luigi, did Wario, Waluigi, or how do you say it?
Waluigi.
Waluigi. Yeah. I was big. I'm a big voice actor guy.
Yeah, I guess my question is, are people outraged about who's doing Bowser? No. Why not?
I don't remember Bowser talking. That's probably why.
I don't remember Mario talking.
What?
All I've ever heard of him, it's me, Mario.
That's Mario 64.
Or, let's go.
That's about it.
That's definitely. That's definitely. Dan in it. I used to love it.
Bling.
Oh, well, wow. Got off on a tangent there. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm gonna see it. I'm not gonna not see it.
What other movies you
No,
got?
I mean, I'll definitely see it, but the trailer looked fantastic. I mean, it didn't look like they tried to do something different than, like make it Mario, but make it like its own thing. Like it looked like it could have been it looked like the trailer could have been a whole cinematic from one of the games. I mean, which was.
I completely, man, I popped at the trailer. You will feel the penguins throw all their
the snowballs.
Its Bowser just falls. That's the kind of stuff I watch and I cackle.
On the horror front, I'm getting closer to Halloween. There's a movie called Pray for the Devil, which looked interesting. It's got Virginia Madsen in it, which
it did look interesting.
EY or AY?
EY. So I'm like, okay, I see what nice pun there. I'd like to play on words, so I'd like to see what that's all about. I'm probably gonna give that a go. At the same time, you got Black Panther coming up next month.
Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, I'm ready for that one.
That's gonna be phenomenal.
I actually think Black Panther will make more money than Black Adam.
Ooh, that's a borderline revolution.
I'll take you up on
sir.
that.
I think I agree.
It's on the air. We can make the bet right now.
And here's why.
Well, hold on, wait. Let's make the bet before you make your point, because
I gotta hear.
Because I don't need give him any reason to back out of the bet.
I don't back out of bets. I just play on the words. What's it called? What's that word called? Like
So do you, Shane?
Semantics.
Yeah. Do you, Shane?
Wait a minute.
Bet Jonathan 1T that Wakanda Forever.
Elliot, I'm still waiting on my 2 T's from you.
I don't owe you 2 T's.
Jonathan.
I know you did. I don't know if you've paid the bet or not.
He never paid the bet.
You know what? I didn't pay the bet. I went and picked you up whenever you needed a ride.
Wait a minute. Semantics.
I paid my debt.
More than 2 times, actually.
I paid my debt. I didn't pay my bet.
Oh, my Lord.
But yes,
Jesus.
I think Black Panther makes more money, and I'm willing to bet a T.
And I think
Black Panther will have a better box office than Black Adam.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to think on that, but I want to hear what Elliot's. What are your?
I think
that's
people,
tough.
I think it's going to bring a lot of people in who want to see what's next since Chadwick Boseman has passed. I think that's a big driving force.
Okay, so, and Black Panther is huge in the Black community because it was obviously the portrayal and Chadwick Boseman's phenomenal and what it was about and the message it gave. So I think, if anything, Black Panther has the bigger initial release. But
I'm talking overall.
When people get talking about Black Panther and who it is and who he is and the message that portrays, I think it might bring. I'm guessing.
You mean Black Adam?
Black Adam. I'm sorry, getting Black Panther mixed up. But Black Adam, when they see that what it's about and see that message too, and that message it portrays, it might bring like a rush of people after initial release. We'll see what happens there.
I definitely agree that Dwayne Johnson is the bigger actor, than whoever is going to portray Black Panther and Wakanda Forever.
Sure. Okay.
I definitely agree with that, but I think you have that. What's the word I'm looking for? The crowd that is still feeling that loss.
Yeah,
who's really wanting
Chadwick Boseman's fan base. He's got a fan base.
So either way, I think both of them are going to be really great movies.
I think I'm probably going to take that bet.
Okay.
I'm probably going to take that bet, ladies and gentlemen.
Overall, right?
So overall dollars made. I think
U.S. or worldwide. Let's get all the
let's go
wording out so you can't back out or find a pathway out of this.
Let's go total dollars made. So that's U.S. and worldwide.
Okay.
I'm going to say Black Adam has a bigger box office smash than Black Panther.
Okay. Wakanda Forever.
And I'll say Black Panther 2 has a better box office.
Hold on. All right, we're talking about Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, right? Not Black Panther 1.
Yes.
Okay.
Really?
I'm just making sure. Hey, I'm just a mediator. Just a mediator.
That's tough because at the end of the day, I think you'll win because Marvel just has a much better history of film release. Let's look at the original Black Panther, what it did, monetarily. But I think it's just a fun bet. DJ's my dude.
This might be the first bet we've done on the air.
DJ is my guy. So
Many more of them.
So Shane and I have a thing, just for those
Bet a tea.
that we anytime we always have a disagreement or anything like that, we like to bet teas. We from our favorite tea spot, Revolution Nutrition in Camden, South Carolina. It seems to be an easy bet.
Which, by the way, is a sponsor of the show, and you can use the promo code Lowdown for 10% off.
Exactly.
I use it every time.
Except for on Tuesdays, I think it's 20% off if you get 2 teas. I always buy 2 when I go. So I buy one for in the morning, one for later. So
except it usually lasts him 2 days for he gets 2 teas 2 days.
I mean, it's pretty late this evening, and I'm still got half a tea left.
I got my tea too.
Well, I mean, you got that nice water bottle that keeps everything cold for a while.
Oh yeah, I bought the tea this morning, and it's still cold.
That's awesome.
Does it taste like a tea?
Yes.
By the way, was it you that told me to try? Which one of you told me to try the Daphne?
It was definitely Shane.
That's
Because it was a great. Because of great.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought you'd like it.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, I like. Elliot's a big grape guy.
So just speaking of Revolution Nutrition, they're doing a 10 days of Halloween. So if you go in,
Lord, how do you keep up with all those? You're gonna get every one of them, aren't you?
I am. So they're doing 1 tea a day, like themed. So yesterday's was Jeepers Creepers. Today was Beetlejuice. And so each one, if you go in and you try all 10, you don't have to do them each day. You can get, if you do 2 or 3 a day, they'll still, if you miss a day or something. But if you get all 10, you get a free cup and a at-home tea kit, and then get entered into a chance to win $50. So,
wow.
But the Beetlejuice, I had the Beetlejuice today. It was good. Jeepers Creepers was good.
I'm trying to think of the one I just had. It was Slam Up. I can't think of the name of it. That's how you know when you.
And a little birdie may have told me that in the future they will be doing a 12 Days of Christmas one too.
Look at this little birdie up there. Oh, speaking of Sean Williams Scott, they are rumor has.
Wow. Okay.
Little birdie.
I'm sorry. Well, little birdie. That's his line from Rundown. But the rumor has it they're making another American Pie movie with the shut up, Elliot. The original actors.
They've already had the American Pie reunion. What is this?
Maybe they're in nursing homes. I don't know, but it's going to be phenomenal. Especially if they can bring back, Jason Biggs and Finch and Oz and Shipwreck or whatever they call him.
Watch your mouth.
Wasn't it Shipwreck?
I don't know.
Finch. What do they call him? Shipwreck?
I never cared to watch a movie with the guy sticking his pecker in a pie.
No, it's so good. So good. And I am excited. And Shannon Elizabeth. And what's the girl? She looks like she's rode hard, put away wet now. What's her name?
I don't know.
Which one?
The blonde.
Tara Reid.
Yeah, she looks god awful. She's a poor woman. She is not aged well. But I think it's gonna be amazing.
I don't know when you said it, I was like a moment of excitement, but it kind of quickly faded. I don't know.
I think I'd see it. It's American Pie. It's our childhood. We got to give it a go. But anyhow, we got off on a tangent. The road hard, put away wet. Watching Elliot's face as the response to that. Oh, Lord Jesus. Forgive me.
We watched Roadhouse the other night.
There you go.
Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
We were sitting there watching it. All of a sudden, Asher walks in, and he starts looking, and some stuff starts going on. And Liz like, yeah, it's time to turn this.
Thanks, Mamba.
Yeah.
Was it Mamba Streams?
Well, Roadhouse?
Yeah, were you watching Mamba Streams?
Yeah, always.
I just love it. 24/7. Patrick Swayze.
So that was on just on like IFC or AMC or something like that.
Well, we kind of got talking about off on a tangent about Lindsay's infatuation with Trailer Park Sexy.
There we go. Roadhouse.
Talking about wrestling, man. Let's go. Oh man, I think the big story.
Well,
go ahead.
I know where you're going with that, but before we get
With which part?
What is happening here?
Going with which part? The
You were
wrestling?
definitely talking about the White Rabbit, right?
He knew where I was going.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but as we were recording, Dynamite is actually live tonight on Tuesday, which is when we're recording, and things are not looking good for Hangman. He got spiked in the ring, and they had to stretcher him out. So, like legit.
Yeah,
it looks serious. So,
Yeah,
have you watched it yet?
I have not. I just
they're flipping the camera angles back and forth, so it doesn't look too good.
Yeah, we watched it earlier.
Prayers for Hangman.
Yeah, it was rough. At first, I thought they might have been trying to set something up, but it's not good.
I mean, when you have not that.
Was it on
Not
Moxley's driver?
It
Was
was
it on
like Moxley did a lariat,
King Kong lariat,
and he landed spiked his neck with his head turned. But I mean, they had
Was it Hangman trying to oversell it or trying to sell it? I gotta see the footage.
So the I know.
I think it looked like he just
Looks
got
like he
hit.
got knocked out on the lariat.
He landed on his face.
But
He landed on his face
I mean,
on
had-
the side instead of a.
All right, so there's definitely concussion
you know,
protocol here.
Big E, responded on Twitter. I mean, you don't see a lot of WWE wrestlers actually calling out AEW wrestlers, but I mean, he was praying for Hangman. So it's definitely
Well,
And isn't that awesome to be able to see now?
dude, but it was even. I mean, it was. You knew it was real whenever Moxley got on the mic after they got him at the ring and even kind of said, "Hangman, I hope you recover. I hope you get all your feeling and everything back. I hope you'll be able to play with that beautiful little boy you have now."
That's tough, man, because you're on live TV.
MJF even put on Twitter prayers for Hangman. So I mean,
Yeah, you're on live TV there.
Well, that's what Mox even said. He said, we're on live TV, and he said when the truth of the matter, truth is, we put our bodies on the line every time we're in this ring, and sometimes we get hurt, and that's when he went into the how he was hoping that Hangman could fully recover. Praised Hangman's in-ring work and stuff. So did some shoot stuff to show that he was compassionate and cared, and then gradually moved in after Regal got out to the ring and stuff. Gradually moved into his promo work, and then MJF came out.
So not to bury the lead there. I just want to
it's good because there's a lot of good things happening at AEW on the front of like off the story of Jericho re-signing for 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
I think that's huge, man. Obviously everybody knows my position on AEW, and I'm a big fan of AEW, but I think it's been a lot of turmoil in the back with AEW. But it seems like they're trying to do the things to where they lay out an order, and having people like Jericho there long term, and Moxley getting his 5-year deal, and putting them in roles for creative and roles for
that's what with Jericho, he's got a creative role.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think that's more important than the wrestling side of it. So I'm excited to see what the future holds. Because I don't want to see AEW go down. It's just not in a good. It wasn't in a good spot. Let's hoping they're able to keep it going.
Yeah, they looks like there was some interesting stuff. Well, I don't want to spoil anything for Jonathan because I don't think he's been able to watch the episode yet. So,
Dynamite?
It was a good show. Yeah,
I'll go back and watch it. I've seen some things already. I know that they, Tony has come out and talked about Ring of Honor, that they want to have one more pay-per-view in 2022, and that 2023 they were looking at a weekly show, and there's a lot of rumors that they're going to announce it soon, and they announced the final Ring of Honor Final Battle pay-per-view tonight.
It's in December.
So I definitely think we'll get an announcement soon.
Well, remember when AEW announced it was New Year's when AEW announced it's Double or Nothing. So that's no coincidence. I think you could see something big.
Speaking of New
Year.
Year's, WWE has canceled the New Year's show. Day one.
Yeah, thank God. That whole day one thing was always stupid. They've done 2 or 3 of them now, I think, or they were gonna. There was another one was coming up. It would have been the second or third one. What a stupid concept. So just another kudos to Triple H for ending the
just cause
cheesy, stupid. I hope next Saudi Arabia, but there's too much money involved there for them to do that. But yeah, I'm a big fan of it. Can we please go back to regular? Oh, give me the King of the Ring. Give me WrestleMania, Backlash. Give me No Mercy.
I love Elimination Chamber, man. I love an Elimination Chamber match.
I do, but do you love the whole pay-per-view called that? I could live with it. I like the importance of it, the feel of it. Not everything should be.
I would like to see an Elimination Chamber match at like WrestleMania.
Yeah,
or Survivor. Give me a Survivor Series Elimination Chamber match.
Well, yeah, we're getting War Games, so I mean,
I want the Elimination Chamber that big.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have meaning. There's got to be meaning, and there's no meaning in a WWE day one.
Well,
that's dumb. So
when they went to start, like when they started naming, other than King of Ring, when they started naming pay-per-views after, like Hell in a Cell,
Great Balls of Fire,
or oh my Lord,
well, not that far. Just when they started naming pay-per-views about a match, like Elimination Chamber, like you said, it like
Royal Rumble.
I would prefer all the matches be in the chamber, not just if the pay-per-view is going to be called that, like all the matches need to be in
that's different.
Chamber, not just one match. But
give me a match for every title in the Elimination Chamber.
I'm more of a fan of the Elimination Chamber being a special attraction rather than a whole pay-per-view. But if it is a whole pay-per-view, yes, everything needs to be in the chamber. But I don't know. I remember when Eric Bischoff introduced that Elimination Chamber, and it was just like, it was something completely new, and he was talking about all this, like, tons of steel and whatever.
The promo for it when they were announcing
phenomenal.
And that was one thing WWE's always done a good job in doing is their video work, whether it be tribute packages, announcements. I
remember the Austin Rock one was phenomenal.
White Rabbit teases.
The White Rabbit. That's something we
did not get a chance to talk about last week, which was when it was revealed. We tried very hard to get an episode out last week. It just
schedules
just did not work out.
Life.
Yeah,
things happen.
It happens.
But so what do y'all think? I mean, we had a feeling, right? We all had the general agreement that we had a feeling, who it was going to be, but there was always that 1% chance that says it might not be, right? Thank you, CM Punk. But I thought it was incredibly well done, y'all. What'd y'all think?
I mean, I had goosebumps. I mean, I definitely, as a lifelong wrestling fan, the entrance felt like old school Taker, like something where it was like completely. I mean, in this day and age, it's hard to buy into a gimmick, completely. But it was really sold really well. I mean, like the moment the lights got, so I didn't think it was going to happen. First of all, I mean, going into the pay-per-view, I was like, it has to happen. And then as the match was ending, like I just didn't see where it fit in the match. And then the graphic on the screen, which that was a nice move by whoever decided to do that, because I definitely thought it was about to end. And I had already, like in our group chat, had already typed out like a bunch of laughing faces and ha 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 ha. I was getting ready to press send, and I was like, let me just wait. And then the lights cut out, and I was like, I'm glad I didn't send that.
And how about Michael Cole?
Michael Cole. What? Are we still on the air?
Phenomenal. He's gotten incredible.
Hey, let's give Michael Cole his kudos. Let's give him his dues. He is easily one of the best ever at the job. To be able to, stick around with Vince in his ear as long as he did, and just hearing, I'm ready for Pat McAfee to come back. Hearing him and McAfee together is just absolute gold. I like Corey Graves too. Corey Graves is really nice. I'm not a fan of the new Raw commentator.
What's his name? Kevin?
Yeah.
He's like Irish or something. He sounds a lot. I mean, he has the same accent as Becky Lynch. I think he's Irish.
To me, he doesn't have personality. I can't tell when he is or isn't excited, I guess.
Yeah.
But
to the credit of Bray Wyatt, I thought it was beautiful. Definitely bone chilling.
An underrated aspect, I think, of the whole thing.
no music,
But I also think, I mean, obviously we know that like for a long time WWE has piped in a lot of crowd noise. This you could tell this was like it was the genuine sound coming from the arena, and it was loud.
Yeah.
I mean, it like the chants. I mean, everything.
Holy.
I mean, to me that was an underrated. Like that was something that being that all out and like watching AEW as much, like some of the big moments and being in the arenas for things, like I felt like that had been missing in WWE for a while. But that was, I mean, you could tell that the people in attendance definitely got a special treat, and
that was a moment that they've been needing.
Yeah, let's see what they do with it.
And now we found out that Bray looks like Bray is going to primarily be used for SmackDown.
They did lose me a little bit. Not that I was excited to watch SmackDown, and they showed us like slight video package on Raw of like him talking in the new mask, but whether or not he was going to be exclusively on SmackDown or not, I think they missed out. I mean, it was right after the pay-per-view. I mean, that was the biggest moment, and to go a whole show without having him there or in any capacity other than just the recording, I think was that like it lost a little bit of the luster. Not much, but just a little bit. It was like you knew fans were going to be like
tuning in just to see him,
chomping at the bit to watch it, and that was part of the reason that I actually watched Raw, and then I saw the video package, and then that was it, and I was like, it was kind of a little bit of a letdown.
No, I'm with you on that. And another thing that it's one of those things I get why they do it. They're saving Bray to the end because they want everyone to tune in as long as possible. But for me, I'm like, man, I just wish they would have opened up with him and just build the show from there. Because, man, that promo he cut on Friday night on SmackDown it was good. Did y'all see the Eric Rowan reference in the video?
Hey, which video?
On Friday night, SmackDown, when it cut away from Bray to the mask,
the evil Bray.
So I didn't watch SmackDown live, and it was really weird because I saw some comments on Twitter where people were talking about like the feed cutting out or something like that, and I wasn't really sure. So on my recording when I got home, I went. That was the part I cared about watching, so I went and watched it. I don't know if they ran over or what happened, but like Bray was in the ring. I'd already watched like clips of the promo like on Twitter that people had shared, and then I was like, well, I want to watch it like the whole from beginning to end, the entrance and everything. And then like Bray was in the ring still talking, and it just went like the feed cut, and it went straight into the like local news. And so like if I would have been watching it, you didn't even see the part with the mask.
So like I watched it and I saw the part with the mask and everything.
Must have been a Mamba thing.
I don't know, because I was sitting there watching it just on Fox, and he's sitting there talking, and it goes black, and you hear him talk some more, and then it shows the screen, and the very end of it is the sound that he always makes with the upside down moth. Now, was how it ended, but in that video where it's evil Bray or whoever is under the mask, I mean, it has some throwbacks to it shows a mask or a figure on what Eric Rowan used to wear, not the Lamb, but one of his other masks, either before WWE or when he was with Bludgeon Brothers.
Well, let's not forget that it's rumored that Eric Rowan is re-signed with WWE.
Correct.
So that would make complete sense for me, which is exciting because I think they're amazing together, and I think they want to. I think a lot of this is going to be a tribute to Brody. I think a lot of it the way what they're going to do.
Yeah, and speaking of Brody, formerly known as Luke Harper in WWE.
Yep.
Rumors are that, well, this isn't a rumor. WWE has trademarked Uncle Howdy and Uncle Harper. Uncle Howdy is what they've been calling the mask.
Behind the scenes.
And rumors are the Righteous, formerly from Ring of Honor, formerly part of the 6-man tag team champions, are possibly joining, signing with WWE.
It's interesting, though, the Uncle Harper, obviously that's a Luke Harper ode.
Absolutely.
So, okay, what do you have planned for that role specifically is what I want to know. Like, who's going to be that role? How is it going to relate?
So in the Righteous, you had Vincent, right? And Vincent is the smaller guy with the dreads and the tattoos. Could easily play a Fiend based on his look. And then his partner, I forget his partner's name, but his partner's bigger. For a lot of times wore overalls, wore a dingy tank top. Very well could be Uncle Harper.
I'm interested,
What?
man, because I just think this is exciting. And I have full confidence in WWE's creative ability right now, and with Hunter at the helm, that this is not, and with Bray having creative say by all means, I think this is going to be probably one of the most special storylines, special character re-debuts, reintroductions that we've ever seen. I'm just hoping they let him have the reins.
Yeah, I agree. It's
The Roman
weird.
reigns.
So, I mean, obviously going into the whole reveal, I mean, it was, everybody kind of figured it was Bray, but it was just like, it was, all the videos had so many different clues and stuff that it just made you think, or like made you find things that you wouldn't, relate to one another. And, Shane's been an adamant believer that the Bray's going to come back as like a 3 Faces of Foley, and there's been a lot of rumors about the Wyatt 6 and all the characters now. And Bray playing all 6, which could happen. I could see it even now more. I mean, because they showed the pictures and each character does it. It was like Husky Harris, and then it's the same Hawaiian shirt Bray wore. But then because there's so much, there's still I'm
There's a million
pretty
ways
sure
they can go.
that it's Bray in the mask, but part of me also wonders if there's not somebody bigger than Bray, because I think Bray was the biggest free agent name out there. But I almost wonder if Bray's not the head of the deal, if there's somebody that's controlling Bray or something. What if the mask is like a cult thing? If multiple people come back with the mask, and then there's somebody over the group that's not Bray, and Bray's just part of it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, there's a little part of me that's just I don't know if we got it all figured out. It seems too.
Well, you got Bo. He's coming in. That's his brother. What if they brought in all the IRS, but in a different role, obviously? But how would that appeal? I don't think anybody would really know who he is this day and age.
Because Bray came out with the mask.
An old Barry.
Yeah, Barry Windham.
He came out with the mask and took it off, when he did the reveal. So obviously, it was him in the mask then. But
was that the same mask they showed in that video?
Yeah, same one.
But it's that's what makes me think as somebody, I'm not I wasn't a huge comic book person, but there's a thing in Batman called the Court of Owls, and everybody wears the same mask. So I wonder if it's not wonder if they're purposely had Bray come out in the mask to lead everybody on the path of hey, this is Bray talking, but then it's not. It ends up being somebody else. I don't know.
I'm just going to say it reminds me of the Black Fawn and V for Vendetta. And there's a line from V for Vendetta. It's actually a quote from a poem, and it's, remember, the 5th of November. And the 5th of November is Crown Jewel. I think something's going to happen. Not to say I want it to happen at Crown Jewel.
Correct.
But I think something will happen at Crown Jewel. So,
yeah, they need something, because this pay-per-view is, highlighted by Logan and Roman.
Yep.
So they need something else, please, God.
Guys, we're going to take a quick break just to thank our sponsor, and we'll be right back with the second half of the Lowdown Popcast. As always, let's keep it popping. Guys, this podcast is brought to you by Day Soul Coffee Lab out of Birmingham, Alabama. Y'all know this. I consider myself a coffee connoisseur. I absolutely love coffee. Matter of fact, I just got like 5 bags of coffee in like this past week, and it's been absolutely delicious. Delicious. Yeah, absolutely. Delicious and nutritious. I ordered it from the Lowdown. Day Soul Coffee Lab at daysoulcoffeelab.co, and I used our promo code Lowdown, and guess what? I didn't get 10% off. I got 20% off. That's right. 20% off. So as Jonathan said 2 weeks ago, I got 5 bags for the price of 4. And this morning,
Steiner math.
I made me a little batch of the Bourbon Barrel Aged Reserve and the Wonderlust. And it was great. And guys, they delivered it straight to my door. And so you can take advantage of this promo code as well. Go to daysoulcoffeelab.co, sign up for their monthly subscription, let them deliver it to you. Use the promo code Lowdown for 20% off. I can promise you it's something that you will not regret.
I remember this one time I was a kid, and this guy we were living with, renting a room from, rolled his own cigarettes. And I decided to roll his own cigarette with coffee grounds. And I gave it to him. I just remember him putting the cigarette in his mouth. I'm sorry, it's just a random thought. Brought back a good memory. Oh, sorry. Anyhow.
So, hey, if you
a tear to my eye.
If you roll your cigarettes with coffee grounds, Day Soul Coffee Lab could be your
Oh, man, my childhood was amazing. Okay.
So Jonathan, you were saying
yeah, would you have some breaking news for us?
I wouldn't call it breaking news, but it's something that we've kind of discussed off air a few times, and maybe on air. I mean, before I came aboard, but The Rock was interviewed recently. It was I just saw it today, so I think the interview was today, and it said, "I have discussed potentially becoming a WWE executive with Nick Khan." And it said in an interview with B&M Bloomberg, The Rock was asked whether he would consider investing in WWE or accepting a director position. He responded by noting that he has had discussions with Khan about the possibility. Nick and I have talked about that, and we always enjoy that over a bottle of Terramana. Cheap plug. I love the wrestling business. I grew up in it. My dad started here in Canada, where his father was born. So I'm not quite sure if a board seat is in my future, but possibly other things are in my future for sure.
Hollywood, WrestleMania.
I've known Vince for a very, very long time, and he's a businessman. I think the key is if there was a sale of the WWE is to make sure that whoever acquires that brand in that property, you've got to love the wrestling business. Of course, you can love the asset and you can love everything that comes with it, but you got to love professional wrestling, because if not, then you could kind of see that writing on the wall. He was like, 4 or 5 years down the road, who knows what will happen.
So if Vince is no longer involved with the product, why does he even say that there?
It's still the owner, right?
Yeah, he's not.
He's just not part of the board or anything anymore. No say so, but he's still the owner.
I mean, he stepped down as CEO, but I think he still has majority assets. Like, I think it would still be up to him to sell.
Majority shareholder,
right? Like businessman. That's what I'm saying. Like, it would be like if they were going to sell, they couldn't sell without Vince agreeing to it.
Huh?
But you just talked about WWE being for sale, and
well, who knows now? I think Vince's retirement.
Nick Khan and The Rock definitely go way back in with his family. So I mean, who knows?
Deep state.
Deep state. Tulsi Gabbard's been talking about that a lot. Anyways.
Dude, that was good for her.
Yeah,
good for her. I mean, those of you who don't follow politics, but Tulsi Gabbard is a prominent Democratic figure.
She was a Democratic presidential candidate for the 2020 campaign.
Come out and left the party. Good for her.
Left the party.
Good for anybody that leaves a party. Jeez, I don't care what side you're on.
Yep. Oh wow.
all I saw was Mexican.
No, that match went crazy.
Somebody, I guess they were talking about the Death Triangle match on Dynamite, and said, "Nah, that match went crazy. I haven't seen Mexicans and white men fight that hard since the Alamo."
Wow, that's pretty good.
That was a really good match, by the way. You saw Neville trying, not Neville, Pac. Sorry, you saw Pac trying to do
Benjamin Satterley. That's his real name.
Pac tried to use that hammer again, and Ray Phoenix stepped in, and I was like, "Nah, dude, we don't do it that way. You don't need to do it."
So I saw you post in the chat, but where would I go to watch this Penta match that he had over the weekend? Because I want
Triple
to see
Mania?
it. I saw like 3 pictures, and I was immediately sold and wanting to watch the match.
So here's the only places I've been able to find Triple Manias.
Mamba.
Nope. Twitch.
Twitch is big.
Normally, like when
It's AAA.
the last Triple Mania I watched was on Twitch. Now it's Spanish broadcasting.
I'm okay with that. I just want to see the match. The pictures after the match, I was so intrigued in just what went down.
That honestly, that's the first time I found out that Brian Cage wrestled in AAA with a mask on.
Yep.
I was like, that dude is massive. Then I realized, holy
Wait a
crap,
minute,
that's Brian
he
Cage.
looks familiar.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, go to Twitch.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
And a lot of times you can just type in Triple Mania and whatever the number it was. And
I think Penta went by his name Pentagon Jr. at the show too, which is phenomenal.
yeah, it was a mask versus career.
Mask versus mask.
Mask versus mask?
But
I mean, Penta's mask is basically ripped completely off, but he gets to keep
they said
his.
that happened in like 30 seconds of the match too.
Apparently, Ray Phoenix had a heck of a match too. Talk about 2 guys that, in my opinion, are underutilized by AEW.
I think so. I mean, they put on great matches. I think their merch and their look, I mean, could sell like.
He had his Joker outfit on again tonight, man. I absolutely love that thing.
His whole mask collection, I think, to me, Penta's mask is on the line with Rey Mysterio's mask, where Rey had multiple different masks, but it was always the somewhat same design, that same look. But Penta, man, I think Penta's, to me, is above him. I just think they look more. They portray a more powerful message to me. Like that mask is like, I don't know. They're superb and they're well designed. And
I think for me, what makes Penta's masks look so good is the face painting he does to go along with it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that Ray's mask has some meaning behind all the things, all the components of like the bird or whatever it is on the side on the.
Well, you got to remember wasn't his dad a big wrestler too who wore
his uncle
wore the same type of mask and
WrestleManiac, right? Isn't that the movie?
Yeah. Yeah, I bought it when I was a kid, thinking it was it was Rey Mysterio Jr. and it was like, well, he is way too big to be Rey Mysterio.
Wait a minute,
but no, I think I like Penta's too because Penta reminds me of like almost like a Sugar Skull or something, like Day of the Dead. Like it just has that vibe to it.
He-Man,
but
Gray Skull. That's what I think about.
Yeah.
No, so I mean, we didn't go through the matches from AEW earlier. We briefly touched on some of them, but Dalton Castles looked amazing against Chris Jericho.
He's so underrated anyway.
Dude, every time I see him, I think White Mike.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, absolutely.
And I was
Dalton Castle and the boys, man.
Really good match. Dalton Castle.
Yeah. I like I said,
it's only the second time I've ever seen him wrestle.
Yeah, I haven't even. I mean, I don't even know what matches were on the card. I mean, it came on tonight, and so I went straight from work here. But I saw the Hangman thing because it was I was getting a bunch of notifications where people were posting stuff about it. So that was pretty much the only thing I know that happens. I know that, and I heard Regal drop some bars.
So the MJF Regal promo was.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that because my phone has never blown up before like it has right now with a promo.
Bro, it was.
Was it Regal?
It was
both. From what I saw, it was
phenomenal.
both because they said I saw a picture with like it was like 4 pictures of MJF, and it was like some people are lucky to have like one great promo in their career, you know, like one like standout promo, and they're like MJF's had multiple just in the past year, and it had a picture of him and Regal, and then a picture of him and Punk, and then the picture of him that night, his last night for a little while. And so I mean,
Yeah. So think of MJF's best promo so far, and it's second now.
Really? That's a strong
yeah,
statement.
Dude, I'm telling you, listen, I saw something, I saw and heard something from MJF tonight that I have not seen yet.
All right. Well, once we finish this episode of the Lowdown,
guys, we'll be right back. No.
that's going to be number 1 on my priority list.
Listen, I legit, I was sitting there listening and watching, and I'm like, holy, I mean, that's why I put what a promo. Because the thing was, they could have ended. When MJF stopped speaking, they could have stopped, but they didn't. He stopped speaking, and then Regal started speaking, and then suddenly it's like, oh wow, okay. I wasn't anticipating that, and Regal dropped the sunshine.
Oh, when he says that, you know it's on.
He dropped the sunshine in there, and I was just like, man, it was good. It was really good. There was some rawness in that promo that I haven't heard from MJF yet, and that even talking about the "fire me, please, fire me" thing.
Yeah, I'm with Shane. I'll definitely have to when we finish recording before I hit the road to go home. I'll have to cut it on and watch it on my phone, because if you're saying it's the best promo he's done,
I think it's the best promo.
It's a high standard, because I think the promo.
There's also no good Rob Zombie movies.
The promo
that I've seen, there's a caveat.
The promo where he walked out on Dynamite, his last episode, like last promo on Dynamite before he
called Tony and Mark.
Yeah, that one was ruthless. Yeah, it was like, I mean, I felt every word he was saying. I mean, it was like, so that's a high standard. I don't know.
Let's just say though, MJF is better now than what he was before he left, and
he's jacked.
And he looks amazing. And let's just say, like, if he is re-signed or does get re-signed or whatever to a long-term deal, this company goes through MJF. I think he is the future.
What did I tell you he is?
AEW.
What did I tell you he is earlier? I said he is a modern day Ric Flair.
I agree.
I
agree from the way I saw him as a heel get cheered as a face, meaning the crowd loves their heel.
Here's the thing. They were in Cincinnati, freaking Ohio tonight,
yep.
Home of John Moxley, and he came out at the end, and he was getting the cheers over John Moxley, even though he was still being a heel.
Yes. So it's interesting. I think he is the pillar.
And
he is.
And we found out MJF went ahead and told him, hey, here's where I'm cashing in.
Yeah, they made it official. I did see that.
Official at Full Gear.
I will say on the other side, y'all, if AEW ever lost MJF, I don't know.
Here we go.
No, you got to throw the opposite side of it in there. It's got to be a topic.
Hey,
because it's possible.
I mean,
if it happens,
I'm not saying I think he is.
No, I'm not saying if I'm. I mean, it could happen. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, here we go with the 2024. That's in AEW. Like, yeah,
no, I'm just saying, like, I think MJF is the piece that you don't want to lose.
Here's the thing.
That I agree with.
I have to wonder if he keeps throwing this bidding war of 2024 around. I have to believe his contract's not up in 2024.
No,
I think
work yourself into a shoot, brother.
I think he's long term, making big money, and I think come 2024, I think there's something in his contract that says, hey, we do all this, and come 2024, you get even this much more money.
Well, let's hope, because I think he, like I said, he is
27 years old, man.
The pillar. He is the foundation. I think he's the most important piece of the entire AEW puzzle.
Also,
right now, judging what I'm seeing, they can't afford it.
They
to lose him. I mean,
you had a female return tonight, wrestler in Rio. Shane's rolling his eyes. I thought it was funny. Tony Storm sucks anyway.
I was
so.
gonna say I know she came out against Tony.
Tony Storm
so.
doesn't suck.
No, she came out to help Tony.
Did she?
Yeah, she came out to help Tony Storm.
Tony Storm doesn't suck. That is a horrible way to describe Tony Storm. She's getting better.
Yeah, well, okay. Seasons change, so
I think she's still got the best female gimmick in the whole show.
No.
Yeah, she does.
No. Looking like Left Eye from TLC. I disagree.
Oh, whatever.
Chasing Waterfalls.
Oh, well, another debut or return that we didn't talk about was the Good Brothers.
The
OC showing back up.
Yeah.
That's gonna get botched. Something's gonna happen. That's not gonna last.
I don't think so. I think
it's already getting botched because
He's screwing it up.
They announced
Carl
the OC versus some people in Crown Jewel. It just happens to be the same day that he's supposed to be in Japan defending the neverweight belt. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm not. I wasn't so amped to see the Good Brothers. I mean, I love Carl and I love Doc. Luke, whatever you want to call him, a ton. But
Festus,
fake Kane, imposter Kane.
I don't know. They put imposter Kane over the real Kane. You remember that? But anyway, I think I don't know. I'm just not into it.
They were on NXT tonight.
Yeah,
helping Cameron Grimes.
Because there was a bunch of reports that WWE, since AEW was having to move their night to Tuesday, that WWE did not, under any circumstances, want to lose the ratings to AEW. So we will see. That's why they had so many main roster stars on the show. You had
Shinsuke Nakamura, who showed up on NXT tonight and fought. You had AJ Styles and the Good Brothers, or the OC, with Cameron Grimes against the Schism and Joe Gacy.
The Schism.
I think Rhea was there, I believe.
Who?
Rhea.
Oh, yeah.
Rhea Ripley was there.
I thought I saw a video
yesterday
where Kevin Owens was going to be on there.
So Kevin Owens was on there tonight doing a interview with Ilya Dragunov, Braun Breaker, and who's the other guy?
I don't care who they NXT put on that show. I bet you AEW beats them in the ratings.
I think AEW does too.
AEW,
as long as people remember that AEW was tonight, I think it for sure. I mean,
because AEW's graphics are phenomenal. I think you said something about that. I read something about their graphics are unbelievable, and the way they hype up each individual match. I like how they announce the card almost in its entirety. I kind of enjoy that.
That I've talked about. Yep. I think I like going into the episode kind of knowing not what we're gonna get. I mean, surprises are nice, but WWE might have one or two matches announced. I'm like, well, I like Then when you tune in and it's the same match, or you just.
Yes, I mean, so tonight's NXT results was, you had Roxanne Perez versus Rhea Ripley. You had, Roxanne Perez versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley wins. You had Channing Stacks Lorenzo versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura wins. Oh, so far it looks like main roster is winning. Alba Fire, that is what's her name? She's have a different name. Redhead. I can't remember. Anyways, she wrestled Sonya Deville, I believe. Yeah, Sonya Deville. Alba Fire won.
So breaking news. Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer has reported that a Ring of Honor television show will be announced soon, and will be a streaming deal with HBO Max.
HBO Max was announced?
Yeah. It's not announced. He said it will be announced soon, but it said it will be a streaming deal with HBO Max.
Actually,
yes, because I mean, how can we get here? I mean, that was a no-brainer, especially from a streaming standpoint. You know, you're already in bed with them. You know, might as well close the deal. You know,
Have some fun while you're at it.
right?
Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams versus Wesley and Oro Mensah. Hayes and Williams go over. Schism versus Cameron Grimes and the OC.
I don't like that name.
Schism.
Yeah, just
Cameron Grimes is Jism.
that's what I think.
Cameron
That's what happens when you're in bed with somebody else.
Cameron Grimes and the OC wins. Let's see here.
Schism.
Hey, guess who was on NXT tonight?
Who?
Veer Mahan.
Where's he been?
Good.
NXT, it sounds like.
Getting buried.
No, he's back with his
his
Shanky, ain't he?
No.
What?
No.
I thought he was.
No, he's
back with a group. I read it.
Mahan says everyone
It's on the
wants
internet,
to
it's
know
true.
business, but the world will not.
You know how Shane is with his articles.
Sangha. He's with someone named Sangha or Sangha.
Yeah, it's close.
Quincy Elliott and Zion Quinn to determine who will co-host Halloween Havoc with Shotzi. Quincy Elliott wins.
Yeah, I hope AEW didn't lose to this.
Cora Jade versus Raquel Rodriguez. Cora Jade wins by disqualification. Kevin Owens sits down with Braun Breaker, Ilya Dragunov, and JD McDonough on the KO show. And that's how it ended. So, so yeah, nothing too exciting.
Yeah.
Sounded like.
I hope AEW doesn't lose to that.
I think
your girl's name Fire was Kaylee Ray.
Kaylee Ray. That's who I was trying to remember. Yeah, Alba Fire.
Like I said, if they lose, I think it's because
People forgot.
people just didn't realize that it was on tonight. And it's one thing if you have a show, if it's a day, if it comes on, like if it was to come on Thursday, because you could have graphics come on like TNT or TBS on Wednesday, just talking about it being tomorrow or the next day during its normal time slot, but being a day early. I mean, because I completely forgot until like this morning when I saw something about Tuesday, and I was like, "Why is it Tuesday?" And then I was like, and then baseball.
I forgot until Billy Fox mentioned something in our
At like 7:48.
Yeah,
10 minutes before the show, boys.
I was like, crap, that is tonight.
Well,
And they did like everything was labeled like Title Tuesday, so it made it sound like it was just like a one-off special, but it was definitely just moving Dynamite up a day. I mean, baseball and hockey I think are on tomorrow, so playoffs.
Well, whenever I saw Title Tuesday, I couldn't help but think of something that I saw earlier. I couldn't help but think of the Teeter Totter Taint Tickler.
I was actually going to bring that up too.
That Shane shared with the group.
the Teeter Totter Taint Tickler.
Meltzer rated at 8 stars.
That's right.
But it got sent without the video, so it was just a random message with that. And I was like, what are you talking about?
So
I immediately went to like, Kenny Omega must have done something.
So folks, I'm crying. Oh my Lord, it hurts. But to give you kind of a little backstory, so like I found this video. I don't know how to describe it.
You got it from a page,
Facebook
page,
some stupid wrestling
memes. I'm gonna say crap posts, even though it uses a different word.
Well, you could have hit the wrestling memes,
posts, and trolls.
Yeah, so describe the video. I mean, I can't describe what's going on.
Okay, so the video has what appears to be one guy holding a, I'm going to say about a 12-foot long 2x4.
12 foot long.
With it going across the bottom rope into the ring. The guy's holding it from the outside of the ring. There's a gentleman, I'm assuming, who is laying down on that 2x4. While someone is basically getting stink faced by another wrestler who's in a thong.
It looks like the guy on the outside is controlling.
Think of it like a seesaw.
It looks like somebody's getting teabagged in Halo.
Teeter-totter, there it was.
So I found this video.
But instead of the person doing the teabagging, he's just standing still. He's just squatted over, and then the teeter-totter's just going up and down, up and down.
So I don't know why I thought I'm crying.
Tickling his taint.
If y'all could see my face right now, but like all I could think of was a teeter-totter taint tickler.
That ain't teabagging. That's potato sacking. I'm sorry.
So I meant to send this video to the guys in the group chat so they could all see it, and I meant to attach the words teeter-totter taint tickler to the video. And the video never sent, so I just sent a message that says teeter-totter taint tickler, and Jonathan immediately replies,
What?
Like, there's no context.
Yeah,
and
you said the teeter-totter taint tickler, and I said, the what? Must be an Omega match.
And somewhere Cornette's laughing.
Oh, man.
Oh, I'm crying. My eyes are hurting.
Gosh.
Oh, oh man. Anything else in the other news of wrestling, boys?
So I will.
Nothing.
I mean, well, there's a lot that we probably have yet to talk about just because we missed last week's episode, and a lot happened. But I still can't get over how over the Acclaimed has become. I mean, just in general. I mean,
how about Smart Mark Sterling legit having the trademark currently for Scissor Me?
What? I didn't hear what you said.
Smart Mark Sterling?
Yeah.
For the copyrights and trademarks, the Scissor Me Daddy A is in his name. He owns the trademark.
Oh, boy.
But even last week, I mean, we didn't talk last week,
He
but
is a smart
Dynamite
mark.
last week, like they had National Scissoring Day last week on Dynamite, and the whole promo was gold. I mean, from everything from Swerve coming out. I think Swerve's going to be whenever he fully goes on his own. I could see him being on par with like close to MJF's level with like his heel persona. But I mean, the whole promo was just like. Well done.
You know what I'm thinking of? It was National Scissoring Day, and me and Jonathan and another guy we work with named Jason. Me and Jonathan were just like, "Scissor me, daddy ass," and Jason's like, "Why would you say that?" Because in no context, he doesn't know. He's like, all of a sudden, you're Jason in the back seat saying, "Scissor me, daddy ass."
But
why would you?
But what gets it is to talk about how over they were. So we were immediately started laughing, me and Shane, just because it was he had no idea and was so confused. But we showed him the video, and then we left the event, and on the car ride home, the whole time he's like, he's like humming the song and singing the lyrics, and I'm like, you can't get it out of your head. It's stuck. I mean,
that's wrestling, bro. Captivating. Love it.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of Swerve, though, Swerve and Our Glory has a Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship match against FTR next week. They've already announced for Dynamite.
Ooh, that would be
That's
good.
not even one I can automatically say FTR would retain in. I'd have to think on that because that's interesting. Especially with that's a banger.
So I laughed because at the end of the promo in the back, Swerve's like, "Whose house?" That's like, it's FTR House B.
I love Dax.
But no, I'm looking forward to that. Should be a good match next week for sure. They've announced a couple matches for Dynamite, which is live. It's in Jacksonville this weekend, Friday night.
I think we're Dailies.
You mean Rampage?
Rampage. Yeah, that's what I meant. Rampage. Sorry.
Dailies.
Yeah.
Nice. I love Daly's place.
Yep.
Anything.
I'm assuming Daly's. They said Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think it's. Well, I don't know. I know that they're doing I didn't see where the Rampage venue was at, but I know they're doing a meet and greet with Tony before, like at 4:30, where they announced where it was free, but you had to purchase. You had to get go online and get a ticket to get there, and that was at Daly's place. So I don't know. Can't be that far away. I mean it.
Well, I mean, they could do a meet and greet at 4:30 for Daly's Place, and then have the show at 6:30 or 8, whatever.
And it might have meant get your tickets for the show, but then if you get there early, you could do the meet and greet.
I mean, that's normally what they do with meet and greets, anyways. They set the venue they're having it at, and then they'll have the meet and greet for an hour and a half.
AEW Rampage, October 21st at Daly's Place.
Yep,
I love that.
it's live. Still, I'm hoping come New Year, or whenever they if they have to renew times or whatever, I'm hoping they push that to a 9 or an 8 o'clock hour instead.
That's Rampage, and on the flyer, you have Bryan Danielson, you have Jade, Claudio,
Yep.
MJF.
Bryan Danielson is facing Sammy Guevara.
That'll be good.
Sammy's not even on the flyer. Swerve in Our Glory, Jericho, Tony, Moxley, The Acclaimed, Orange.
The Acclaimed is facing Smart Mark Sterling's guys, so Tony Nese and Josh what's his name?
Not Josh Briggs, Josh Woods. No.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, Woods. Speaking of Orange, he got rewarded.
All in it champion.
I've been saying that for it's time. You've been having Orange in all these.
His fate of time.
And what was funny, so I love the way Orange carried the belt to the ring.
I have to watch it. I'm so behind.
He carried it in a book bag because he's too lazy to carry it. So they put it in a book bag.
I will say that's how you know that work has just been so busy. So I don't watch much live TV. Anything I watch, any of my TV shows, I always go back and watch it on DVR or recording, except for football and at least Dynamite. And I was just talking to my son about it earlier. We haven't watched Dynamite in like 3 weeks, not live. I mean, by the time I get to watch it, I already know what happens, and then I'm just, I'll cut it on and, catch my version of the highlights. Like I fast forward through, like some of the stuff. I kind of watch what the buzz is about. I actually enjoy watching her matches, but
It's one of us.
I do like Tony.
Yeah,
she just needs a little polishing, but. Oh. Yeah.
No, God!
What sound was that?
No, God!
But yeah, they so it's a little. Hadn't got to watch much live, but yeah. I like that Rampage has been live for the last couple of weeks. I
Still hasn't been able to get me to watch it because I've been working.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to watch it at 10 o'clock at night. I'm sorry, but I think their shows are actually happening at like 8 or 9, and then they're airing at 10. And I think what they may be realizing is they can have a 7 to 10 show or an 8 to 10 show, 7 and get that hour of dark or whatever in there, and still do Rampage, and then when the crowd leaves, they're not like dead. So I think it's helping out.
So I this is kind of off topic a little bit, but I see a lot of comments of people talking about it, not like it being a downgrade or like a demotion for some of these top stars to be wrestling on dark. And I think people are looking at it as, because it comes on YouTube and it's dark matches and stuff, that they're just thinking of it like, oh, it's usually like, talent that's trying to get there, just have matches in front of the live crowd. But I take dark as being, going to a couple of AEW shows, like they're just trying to give the fans, like if you buy a ticket, they want everybody, or majority of the roster to have a match in front of the live fans, but they're just going to record it so that it's out there. And then they're just like, well, we have this footage of these matches, like let's just put it on YouTube. And
Speaking of dark,
not that it's a downgrade to be on dark. I think it's just, those are the ones that aren't utilized on TV that week.
No, I agree. Speaking of dark though, you have a member of the Dark Order 10 facing Roosh on Rampage.
We had somebody from Dark Order return.
We did. Stu Grayson.
That was quick.
Yeah, it was when he showed up, I was like, oh yes.
Dark Order ain't over yet.
It's not. And, man, I'm a fan of Stu Grayson and Evil Uno together. I just absolutely love seeing them work together. And I was worried about how that was going to pan out in the ring and stuff, but he's back, and pretty excited about that. And I think I'm hoping 10 has the charisma, or maybe he can be the big name that gets pushed with the Dark Order. Obviously he's not Hangman or definitely not Brody Lee, but he's big. He looks like he's gotten a little bit bigger.
Yeah, Cody's huge.
And his new mask is pretty dope too. So, but we'll see what happens with him versus Roosh on Rampage. What else, guys? Man, we've mainly talked about nothing but wrestling tonight.
That's what happens when you don't get to watch it, and there's a lot to catch up on.
I mean, we spent a good portion of the first part
did
talking
movies
about
too.
movies. I mean, I think we actually probably talked about movies more than we talked about wrestling.
Well, let's go. Let's move on into the sports world. Talk a little bit about
The Bills. Let's talk about the Bills.
Thank you, Josh Allen. That's
They,
all I can say. I lost my fantasy game. I lost by 1 point. 1 point. All because of it.
Dude, he shared out.
Mike Williams.
He
Didn't do nothing.
he got that W in Kansas City. And man, I don't see how the AFC doesn't win. I know the Eagles are doing great. I know that. But I don't see how the AFC doesn't win the Super Bowl this year.
I don't know. I mean, a lot can happen between now and then.
Yeah. Well, Cooper Rush got his loss, so that was my turning point. Whenever he got his loss, I didn't want to mess with the mojo of the team. Cooper Rush got his loss,
But he got his loss against arguably currently the best team in the NFL.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was just a horrible game. It was bad.
I would say, I've said on here that he's not shown me anything that makes me think, okay, I'd go with him. Like, yes, they're winning. I understand the mojo thing, like, whether the team's rallying around Dak being injured or what. I just haven't been sold on Rush, but the final score was a lot closer than what the game actually was.
Facts.
He did not play well at all.
The
defense did keep them in the game a little bit, and like I said, I think the Eagles.
It got way close.
The Eagles took their foot off the gas a little too early, and it allowed Dallas to kind of get the score closer than what it should have been. But it was a one-sided game to me completely.
It was horrible on all fronts, but let's I mean, the NFC East had the potential of ending that night in a 3-way tie at 5-1, which would have been insane. I joke with the NFC. It's like one of the most competitive divisions in football, but it's also where anybody can be anybody. But it's also like the best of the worst. It's absolute always an atrocious division.
Yeah, because nobody would expect the Giants where they're at right now.
No, they shouldn't be where they're at for one.
I mean, it's weird. So, like, we're going into week 7, so you got to start getting to the point where
you're talking
it
playoffs.
Shouldn't be surprises anymore. But just, like some of the outcomes. I mean, who would have thought when the season was beginning that like the Jets would beat the Packers, or like the Giants are 5-1.
Cowboys
a lot of the
champs.
Like teams record and like who's doing well. Tampa Bay are 500, but they don't. Yeah. They're not looking like Tampa Bay.
Their offense is sputtering, dude,
and you don't hear anybody talking about them either.
Well, and I think it's because of everything that Tom's dealing with this, Giselle.
The Super Bowl. The Rams. They just won the Super Bowl, and they
Lost
don't look like. They should have. They completely murdered the Panthers.
They barely beat the Panthers.
The Panthers. It was 2 scores.
Robbie
Anderson.
Yeah.
That quick. Gone. Matt Rule.
Pulled an Antonio.
The Falcons beat the 49ers. There's a lot of just looking at
it's no longer a season where I can point at a certain team in each conference and be like, that's my Super Bowl favorite. That's my Super Bowl favorite.
Jaguars have looked pretty good.
There's legitimately 5 or 6 teams in NFC and 5 or 6 teams in AFC where I can be like, yeah, that could be a Super Bowl champion. I mean, it's weird. It's very weird.
I mean, we forget what 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, Jacksonville, made it to the playoffs and had a chance to make it pretty far, but lost in the playoff game.
Was that Byron Leftwich?
No, that was
this was like
Broyles. No.
Yeah, Blake Bortles.
Oh, Blake Bortles.
They got to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the thing. So I mean, we don't really talk baseball too much on here, but I mean, baseball, when you get to the playoffs, you have best of 3, best of 5. So you kind of have that where if you have a bad night or something like that, but like once football, in any college or pro, once you get to the playoffs or once you get to the end of the season, you're out. I mean, that's it. So I think, it's easy to say the Bills look good. I mean, even like Kansas City looks good, the Eagles look good, but I mean, all it takes is for them to have one bad night against another good team in the playoffs, and that's it. I mean, and
I get that, but man, that Bills,
or one injury away. I mean,
sure.
With the Chiefs, I think, as good as Mahomes is, I think if something was happening to Kelsey, it would be a huge blow to the Chiefs. Sure. I mean, the Bills, I mean, if something was to happen to Allen, I mean, they have the talent on the team, but
my fantasy team would be dead.
Rumors are OBJ might be going to the Bills.
I've seen rumors that McCaffrey, the Bills might try to get McCaffrey, which would be
scary. That's my AFC. That would be my AFC favorite. And I think the Bills are my AFC favorite. I think they're the best all around team in the AFC. Offense, defense, they're phenomenal. Josh Allen looks amazing.
They had the number 1 defense last year, statistically.
Yeah, and they're there now. Number 1 offense, I'm sure.
Well, that's a testament to Sean McDermott, though. I mean,
I like Sean.
He's a defensive guy, always has been.
And you got Deshaun Jackson returning to the Ravens.
Sign with the Ravens.
As a Cowboys fan, I hate Deshaun Jackson, but
he's been in the league for 20 years?
14.
Dude's fast. Gosh,
and
he's
he
fast.
could probably still run a 4.5. You don't necessarily lose that kind of speed. And
I like to go fast.
Yeah.
He's so fast, makes fast.
Yeah, I don't like Deshaun Jackson at all.
I just remember that great punt return against the
right up the middle.
Yeah, against the Giants. And he
classic NFC East game.
It was Monday Night Football.
He gets to the goal line, runs parallel to the goal line, just starts waving.
Yeah,
time cuts down. He runs into the end zone.
He's good. I arguably could be a Hall of Famer based on punt returns, but
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, I remember.
I mean, he's got over 11,000 receiving yards in his career, 12,000 receiving yards. I mean, he very well could be.
I remember when he played for the Redskins, also.
Yeah,
and you had Santana Moss there.
Yep.
And who was that quarterback then?
Kirk Cousins.
Was it Cousins?
Probably Cousins.
Or RG3?
Probably both.
I don't remember.
RG3. Oh, poor guy.
Bum knees.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I brought up baseball, and the one and done thing. So what I've noted, and as a Braves fan, it could just me being salty and in my feelings, but because the Braves lost and got eliminated. But what I think baseball, just like any sport, is a game of momentum. And what I don't like, so like if you look, the Dodgers are out, the Braves are out,
which is
the
crazy.
Mets lost, and they all had the best records during the season. But the Braves had 5 days off after the season. The Dodgers had 5 days off. So you would think the rest would be nice, but in a game where you're used to playing every day, like baseball, when you get a team like the Phillies,
baseball's a game of rhythm.
So the Phillies knocked out the Braves. I think and they didn't have any off days. So I think once you get in that rhythm, I think the off days disrupted.
Yeah,
having the teams that were favored to win, it kind of disrupted their rhythm a little bit.
No, I can see that.
Yeah,
because the Braves did not play very well. I mean, they got crushed.
Yankees Braves so bad. That was my heart. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, I don't know who I want to win now.
Anybody?
Not the Yankees.
You don't want the Yankees?
Yeah, no.
Why?
Absolutely not.
So we got Yankees Astros coming up. That'll be interesting.
And Padres, Phillies.
Yeah.
Even though the Phillies beat the Braves, I might want the Phillies to win.
So
I don't. Yankees are my least favorite team. I mean, that's growing up. Yankees, Braves. Yeah, Yankees. I can't stand them. I see the logo, it automatically just
makes me sick.
Yeah.
So I saw another Brave fan post. Get rid of Acuna. Get rid of him. Pay Dansby.
I wouldn't go that far.
They said get rid of him. Pay Dansby. They said he.
So what? I challenge that person to look at Acuna's contract, because Acuna's contract is not stopping Dansby from getting paid at all, and Acuna's contract is very, very, very in the Braves' favor for the talent that he brings.
Well, they were saying get rid of him because of his attitude. They don't like his attitude and the way he's been acted the past. I guess I don't know.
He's cocky. I mean, he's come out before. I mean, there's been a play where like I've seen plays where he's gotten fussed at by the manager, even post game, because he like hit what he thought was a home run, so he didn't like take off out of the box, and then it ended up dropping down or falling short or something, and like a double could have been a single, or a single could have been a double. And then they talked about it post game, and so I mean he's young, and I think there's a
how old is he?
Like 22 or something like that. So I mean 22, 23.
I don't think I could get on board with cutting him.
I think he's has the potential to be one of the best Braves of all time. So I wouldn't go that far. I mean, if he gets it straight, we'll see.
Yeah.
No, but I do agree they should pay Dansby. Yeah, I mean. I've looked. They have most of their whole team locked up for like 5 or 6 years, and I mean a lot of the young players are signed to very team friendly deals money wise. So I think they have.
People are generally happy as a Brave, though. They're happy in that organization.
Old Snicker, pulling it out. Snicker was he was a Bobby Cox guy, right?
Yep. He's been there for a while.
Always talking about contracts, man. You best believe Shane's nervous about Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge is going to be a Boston Red Sox.
They said, the last thing I read was that a lot of people, executives and stuff, think that he's going to stay in New York. Was the last update I've seen.
No. If anywhere, he goes to Boston. In spite.
But I don't
think for a second he's not going to entertain something. You'd be dumb not to entertain your financial options.
Well, you're not entertained.
So,
time will tell.
I hate it, man, because, Yankees, I think, made a mistake.
But I'll say, too, so as much as I hate the Yankees, probably my second least favorite team in any sport behind the Clemson Tigers.
Undefeated, by the way.
I was extremely happy to see Judge break. Hit 62. Was it 62 or 63?
61 was Maris.
Okay, so 62 was the record. Yeah, they had him. Yeah,
American League record.
They had him come out. He started the game. He hit it, and then they took. They let him. I like how the Yankees did it. They let him take the field, right after that, and then took him out. So he kind of got the ovation because they were away that game, and he still got the ovation from the crowd. So it was nice to see.
They were in Toronto or somewhere, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Which is strong. Also a strong Yankee.
But as much as I dislike the Yankees, it was a night. It was good to see. I was happy.
Judge is hard not to like. I mean, he is a monster of a man. 6'6", 6'7", 280.
But he's not the monster among men.
He's not. Who is?
Braun Slowman.
He's the monster among monsters.
Oh,
monster of all monsters now.
Oh. I'd like to see if he's tied to Bray. I'd be interested.
I don't think he is.
Well, see, that was like we were talking about the Wyatt Six earlier. That was another rumor, was that they were going to have all these people play all the characters. It went from all these people to like, Bray's going to play all of them. I don't know. I'm just interesting to see where it goes.
I love how we can go back to wrestling and everything we talk about. But I think at the end of the day, I think the one thing I will say, we are working with or dealing with or working towards a multiple personality Bray, whether it's him and himself, whether it's him as all six, whether it's there's definitely at least two sides of Bray. I think we're seeing, hopefully more, because I want to be right, but I don't like being wrong. But they were definitely, and that's
you heard it right here on the Lowdown Podcast.
Shane does not like being wrong, but I will admit if I'm wrong. It's like pulling teeth.
I don't like to be wrong either, but I have a hard time admitting it when I'm wrong.
Yeah, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But
Usually, you're wrong a lot.
That's another that's another conversation. I do think we're dealing with a multiple.
Is that why you're so grumpy all the time?
I'm not ever grumpy.
I am.
You are always grumpy.
I own it.
You wake up mad.
That's because he likes to sleep. He doesn't get to sleep as long as he wants to.
Oh, it's 11 a.m. I wanted to sleep till at least 1. But
no, I mean, right now, this is probably my favorite part of the time of the year because you got baseball wrapping up. I hate baseball. You got football. We're getting in the middle of football. You've got basketball starting up. You got hockey starting up. Wrestling is year round. But right now, you've got some great storylines, great comebacks, everything happening in wrestling. It's a good time for me.
I'm sickened that you don't like baseball.
I hate baseball with the heat of 1,000 suns.
It's America's pastime.
Yeah, leave it there.
It's horrible.
It's pastime. Bye. Here's to the past and kiss my glass. Joe Nichols. Who was at Carolina Adventure World this past week.
So we did talk about baseball. We talked about NFL. You mentioned Clemson was undefeated.
Yep.
But I mean there's been some good college games too since
How about the Tennessee game with Alabama?
Yes.
Come on.
Great.
That was the most satisfying.
Something else I didn't get to watch.
Really?
You know what
I got to watch that whole game. Where were you?
I was working.
Oh, I must have been off that day.
Yeah, it was your birthday celebration.
It was phenomenal. Just watching it live with everybody. Jonathan, you should have been here to see it.
Your father-in-law was great.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Alabama's going to win.
No.
They lost.
No.
Oh, they can come back.
No, they're not. My father-in-law was amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll go down probably as one of the greatest games of all time.
And can we just talk about how South Carolina and Clemson passed up on number 11, the wide receiver who caught 6 touchdown passes for Tennessee, who's out of Dutch Fork, South Carolina?
What was his name?
Don't even remember. Hyatt.
Or I was going to say Wyatt.
Jalen Hyatt.
It was Hyatt. Yeah. Wow. He instantly, I said it that night, he instantly put himself in the Heisman Trophy conversation.
Listen, every single time he scored a touchdown, it was run deep.
Yeah.
And he was
deep.
Every time he was 3 or 4 steps behind the Alabama defender.
It was all over the top. Beat the whole secondary. Jalen Hyatt.
Just
6 feet tall, 185 pounds.
They said he was super skinny coming out of high school. He was from Dutch Fork High School, in Irmo, South Carolina. But
his now season stats: 33 receptions for 595 yards, 10 touchdowns, averaging reception of 18 yards per catch. Yeah, that's instant Heisman Trophy conversation.
But yeah, he
knocked Alabama down to what, 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
They switched places. No. They went up to what Tennessee go to?
3.
3 in AP poll, I think 4 in coaches.
So they did switch places essentially.
Because you got Georgia,
Ohio State,
Michigan, Tennessee, Clemson, Alabama.
Wow.
But what I do enjoy, locally is the Gamecocks seem to be playing much better than they started the season. Because I remember us having the same conversation after we got blown out by Georgia and looking at the schedule and being like, they might not get to that many wins. Now they beat Charlotte and SC State which they should have won. But the Kentucky win was a huge win for Carolina because we haven't beat Kentucky in a while, and we're sitting at 4-2. So we got it still may not happen, but all we got to do is get 2 more games to be bowl eligible. So
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean you're bowl eligible last year. You'll beat Florida. I mean,
what's the name of the rest of the schedule for Carolina?
Texas A&M this week, Missouri next week, Vanderbilt, Florida, Tennessee, Clemson.
You'll win all those games.
We get Tennessee. Bring on Tennessee.
You'll be in Columbia.
You'll beat Vanderbilt. You'll beat Florida. You'll beat Texas A&M.
About Missouri.
You'll beat Missouri.
That's another.
I mean, we could have a real. So I see a path where we have a really good season, which is
I
what
think you in 8-4.
Going into the season, it looked like we were bound to the path we were on. But then when the season started,
you can't beat Tennessee.
I don't think you beat Tennessee.
I don't think you beat Tennessee.
But here's the thing. I think Tennessee has a really, really strong chance of winning the national championship this year.
After that game, yeah.
Because
Tennessee's offense is prolific.
Ohio State and Michigan will have to play each other, and one of them will get knocked out of the top 4. Georgia, I don't think Georgia wins the SEC.
I'll say Georgia and Tennessee play each other.
I think Tennessee beats Georgia.
That game is
Tennessee plays Georgia and South Carolina. We have
that game is a couple weeks away.
No, that's an interesting game. That's probably going to become one of the most
And you still got the
games
Georgia Florida game, right? Where's that happened already?
No, I think it's usually like the second to last week of the season.
That game's always in Jacksonville.
No, that game is not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
It's like the week before Halloween.
Yes.
No, the week
and
of
it's
Halloween.
always in Jacksonville. They used to call it like the largest cocktail party or something.
Yeah.
They've changed the name of it, I think, now.
That's Halloween weekend.
Yep.
Yeah. I'd love to see Florida beat Georgia, but I think Georgia still wins. I don't think Georgia wins the SEC East. I think Tennessee wins the SEC East. I think Tennessee then faces Alabama again in the SEC Conference Championship. I think Tennessee wins again. I think Tennessee is your number 1 going into the college football playoffs.
I think Alabama loses again.
They very well could.
They got a game coming up.
LSU.
Ole Miss.
Hey, LSU's.
The Ole Miss game.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Ole Miss is number 7.
Yeah, I think they lose. It's a great year.
Listen, you very well could have Tennessee, Ole Miss in the SEC championship.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean,
which conference?
Yeah, Alabama.
I mean, we're not going to make it there, but
conference wise, how many has Carolina lost?
2. So they lost to. So that's what I'm saying. We had the conversation after week 3 when we lost to Georgia because we got blown out because they didn't play well week 1 against their South Carolina State or whoever they played.
Who was your other conference loss?
Arkansas, which at the time Arkansas was top 10.
Yeah.
So it was like, even though we were in panic mode because they had lost twice and didn't look good in any of the games, like we also, the only 2 losses we had were against good competition, and then we've won 3 straight. So
what was Kentucky ranked when we beat them? 10? They were top 10.
They were
9. I feel like they were 9.
This has them 13, but but they also.
Or did they lose the week before?
So they lost the week before. They were 7. They lost to Ole Miss the week before, so they dropped down to 14.
But still,
yeah.
But yeah, Alabama has Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
Both of them are not guaranteed wins.
Mississippi State, LSU, Ole Miss.
LSU's looking better. LSU's looking better.
And the Auburn game, the rivalry game, no matter, usually most of the time, no matter who's in it, it's always a hard fought game.
Where's it at?
Which one?
The Auburn-Alabama game.
It's in Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama wins it then.
The Ole Miss game is in Ole Miss.
Ole Miss
and
wins
the
it.
Mississippi State game is in Alabama.
That's where they lose their second game. They're losing their second game. They're losing 2 games.
Yep.
And then this week, Clemson plays.
Then Davis Sweeney goes to Alabama. Dang it.
Clemson plays Syracuse this week, and Syracuse is also undefeated.
I was going to say, that's going to be an interesting game, too. Is that in Syracuse?
No,
and Clemson.
St. Clemson.
Okay. Orange.
Syracuse is number
14.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
6-0.
That's gonna be has Syracuse historically given Clemson a run in a couple games?
Yes. So the year
I remember watching one.
The year Kelly Bryant was starting quarterback, Clemson won the ACC that year, and they got knocked out first round of the playoffs, or whatever that round's called, against Alabama. We lost to Syracuse in Syracuse. Then the next year, we played Syracuse. Trevor Lawrence got knocked out the game with a concussion. Chase Bryce came in the game, and he led us to a victory. And we kind of, I think, if I remember correctly, we kind of won on like a last-second play. The next year, we beat them pretty good in Syracuse. Last year, I believe we lost. Did we lose? No, we lost. We lost to NC State. We lost 2 games last year.
No, Clemson's favored by 13.5.
I think we lost to NC State.
There's something about it, though, man.
I think we lost to NC State and Syracuse last year. But Syracuse, we were in Syracuse again.
It's that cold weather.
It's indoors.
Hypothetically.
They cranked that AC down to 40.
Dang Carrier Dome.
It's like my hotel room.
Yeah. So Syracuse had Eric Dungy, which was a really good quarterback for them the past couple of years, but he's not there anymore. So I don't know much about their new quarterback, but you know they some of the games they've won, they've been really close. I just think our front four, front seven, I think it's one of the best in the country. We're able to rotate our D line out and not lose anything. Now, if they can't get pressure, I worry about our secondary.
So Syracuse's quarterback is Garrett Schrader from the Mississippi State Bulldogs. That's who their starting quarterback is.
Say transfer.
Born in Charlotte, North Carolina.
So, we'll see. Syracuse is always a game that that's a noon kickoff.
Sure is.
Military Day. Yep. Noon kickoff.
Then after that, Clemson has Notre Dame.
We got Notre Dame at Notre Dame.
Miami
at home. Louisville at home.
And then Carolina outside of Syracuse, Carolina has the best record out of remaining Clemson opponents.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
It's kind of rare.
Well, Notre Dame.
All the other Notre Dame, Syracuse. Notre Dame, Louisville, and Miami are all 3-3.
And Notre Dame's completely crapped the bed this year so far.
You think Carolina finished 8-4?
Yeah. I think they lose. I think the only games they lose is Tennessee and Clemson.
7-5. Definitely bowl eligible for sure. At least 6. 7.
I mean, that's your bench. 6 is your benchmark. So
yep. It's good. It's a good feeling. Toilet bowl.
No,
I mean, so by the time Carolina plays, just throw this out there. So because you talk about how when you moved down here, like your first real experience with Carolina beating Alabama.
Yes, never forget.
So
that weekend in 2010.
By the time Tennessee plays Carolina, the only game that they have left is Vanderbilt. So they'll have already played Georgia. So if they beat Georgia, there's a chance that they could come into Williams-Brice
and lose,
ranked number 1. And if somehow we were able to pull that out,
man, I'd love to see Carolina beat Tennessee, but Josh Heupel's offense,
yeah, I like Heupel, but you think Tennessee could?
That's a guy who could put up points when he was at UCF.
You think Tennessee can pull it out against Georgia? That's a tough bet. That's not a T bet for me. I don't even think that game's gonna be close. Actually,
here's the thing: Georgia hasn't seen an offense like Tennessee's.
There's a lot of like different things.
We need to have a drop every week. We need to have a T-bit. Just one every week on something that we discuss, and then have a drop.
We can drop it right before the Revolution Nutrition ad every week.
I'm not dropping.
T-bet of the week.
Ooh, that's catchy. I'm not dropping it on that.
So,
well, we already got our bet for this week. I'm just saying that can be a normal thing.
Well, it's not even. I'm not gonna know for like a couple months.
We can still bet one every. We can keep track of it.
Okay, we'll have a little T-log.
Gentleman's bet.
T-log,
yeah. Well, guys, it's been a good show.
Yes, yeah. There's a lot to talk about in 2 weeks.
Back.
Yep, it's good to be back.
I'm here.
Let's talk about that because I could have sworn when I watched it live, he mouthed the words "Let me in."
Nah, I definitely heard I'm here, and then it didn't sound like it was like into the mic, and it was like like he wasn't looking. It sounds like me when I'm trying to talk into the mic.
I could have sworn he mouthed the words "Let me in."
They blew the candle out. That landed out too early.
Hey, he's the one pressing the button on the side.
I don't know if it makes sense for him to do it, with his fingers.
Yeah, he just
maybe he was nervous.
He was right here.
But it definitely went out while his head was still like back away from the lander, and it was like,
whoops, nobody saw that.
Are we off the air?
I'm exciting. It's exciting.
Well, cool, guys. Guys, we appreciate your time. Really?
I couldn't help it.
You and your Tony Khan stuff.
I like it.
Oh, gosh.
It's funny.
Oh. Ugh. So gross.
It was gross.
Pellegrino water. Oh. Well, I've lost my train of thought now. So
I kept trying to think what it reminded me of. It looks like the way his like whole motion was. It looked like
a deep throat. Let's call it what it is.
Yes, but it almost looks like like the way you would see like a mama bird, like when she would chew up like a worm or something, and she's trying to spit it back out.
Regurgitation. And that's what that same thing. That's exactly what I thought every time I saw it. And little birds.
I'm sure that's the other end of it.
Oh man. Well, guys, we appreciate your time. As always, be sure to check out our sponsors, daysoulcoffeelab.co. Use promo code LOWDOWN for 20% off. Basic Coffee. You can also check out Revolution Nutrition in Camden, South Carolina. Use promo code LOWDOWN and get 10% off your order there. Hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to catch us again next week. And as always, I am Elliot.
I'm Shane.
And I'm Handbook Jonathan.
Hey, there it is. This has been the Lowdown Popcast. And as always, let's keep it popping.